Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Well, I've got the Q with the U, which is good. However, can I actually play anything? I don't think I can. So let me hang on to the Q and the U and play off as many of the other tiles as I can. One more vowel. Vowels definitely help getting rid of the bigger tiles. Now through an E I would have squirted. Will opponent stick an E in the open? Far more likely to have just a parallel play. However, I do now have quid and quit on my rack. And squirt, so I should be able to play something. No standout plays at the moment in terms of score. Die quat through an A. Opponent does play an E, but it's not in the open. So I'm not seeing anything with J-O-E-M or K. So what about, well, I'm reluctant usually to burn my S, but if I can get enough points, it's worth it. And look at this, 66 points. Fantastic. But less fantastic is this draw. Garfield once said, of course I deprecate war, but if it's brought to my door, the bringer will find me home. And that's how I feel about racks like this. I don't like them, but they are foreseeable. That was Garfield, the president, not the cat. Through a U, I would have Vug. No U's available. Oh, wow, 66 for opponent. That's a poor show. And what am I going to do here? I'm minded to change. I think this is just too much of a horror show. And I'll keep just the S. Much better. So, blank and S. Still slightly vowel dry. And just a floating I on the board, which isn't suggesting any bingos. So I'll be looking to sort out my three big tiles, especially the X. Great, just 24 for opponent. So I'll be looking to play off the X and one of H and M. I don't think I can play off all three of my big tiles. Now, just wondering about hexameters through EME. No, that doesn't work. Max is the three-letter play I've got. Wow, not really seeing anywhere for that. Tricky board. Eam takes an M in front, but I can't do much else. What about Max here? At least I'm getting the X to play twice. 24 points. H is the tile of the three big tiles that I would most like to keep. It goes well with the S and can be quite bingo-y. I think this rack goes well with a floating I. And of course squirt takes an S. Only 24 points. I'd expect more from an X. Quiz takes an S in front, so I wonder what I'm missing out by not playing marks. Let me just see. 45 points. Wow, 45 points. Harks is also good. 47 points. I think this is the play, and next go the M can go to the right of the H. Yeah, this is 20 odd points more than the previous move I was considering. I'm going with this. Wow, not great. Again, a preponderance of the big scoring tiles. I have chav through the H. I would have victim through two I's. I've got vax and lax. That's quite nice. Harks takes a C and an S in front. But I don't think I can do much with the C. I think the best I can do is vac, which isn't a great score. 21 for opponent. Another I as a floater. Inanna doesn't take anything in front. I'd like to preserve my A, but that's not possible with any sensible play. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Vax for 25. If I draw vowels, I'm in decent shape, but I think I need to draw 2. And I draw none. Wow. But I have a 10-point lead. I could be changing again. I don't think I can sort this rack out in 1. And I don't think I'm going to score very much. I wonder how things would have turned out if I'd played Max instead of Harks. So what to keep out of this rack? Still 3 T's to come. It's quite tempting when you've got a lot of consonants to throw out all of them. Wow, 86 points from a bunch of 1 and 2 pointers. That's painful. Plus vowel under premium square, and I don't think I can use it to reach the triple word square. Wow, what a turnaround. No, nothing reaches that triple word square. I'm changing. I need to take action. And the point I was making is when you've got all these consonants, it's easy just to throw them all out. But I could draw 6 vowels. So I think I'll keep C and T. Fantastic. That looks really balanced. Crafted plays at the moment in row L. What do I have through the I? Craftier. Great, I am bingoing. But what's opponent going to do in column 8? This could be another 40 or 50 point play. Fortunately, the Z and the J have gone, so just 27 points. Fantastic. So do I have a play beginning or ending with L? And it's more likely to end with L. No, not seeing one. Craftier doesn't get doubled, provides access to row A. What about the same word in column 14? Well, the F gets tripled and limited access to column 15. Plus, I trail by 100, so it will be nice to keep this I open. But is there an alternative play? There's NA. There's AH. That doesn't look useful. L. If there is a play in row O, I think that would be best. So this rack plus an L. Not seeing anything so far. No. This rack plus an L. Fortunately, I do have a bingo. Grateful. Wow, there is one in row O. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Grateful for 89. Fantastic. I am back in this game. I trail by just 13 points. And is Mooged good? Could be. I don't think there's anywhere for it. But I think I may have drawn a bingo. Dogedom as well is good for sure. Again, nowhere for it. No 7-letter lanes on the board. I've got the men prefix in row C. I is the only bingo-y floater. Wow, I so nearly didn't go through the alphabet for my last play. C, F and U looked, or C and F looked so unpromising. Now, what's opponent done? Lane has not provided a 7-letter lane. Just looking around to satisfy myself that there really isn't, and there really isn't. So what am I going to do with this rack? I trail by 40. It's in opponent's interests to keep the board tight. Can't see how I can score off any of the scoring tiles on the board. 12 minutes on my clock. Naha is good. So I do have this for 22 points. Opening the board up, but it could be opening it up for a big score for opponents and not really providing any bingo-y floaters. It would only be the ones in columns 4 and 5 or earlier. And the rack leave unpromising, except 3 N's, and there's an ING column in column 14, which Doom would distract from. Interesting. What else can I do? Column 2 is bingo-y for bingos ending ER, not with this rack. Wow, just a tricky rack to deal with. And I do trail by 43, which is a lot. I want to leave the existing bingo lanes alone. I am going to go with Doom. It's volatile, but I need the volatility to get back in this game. It looks like I'm fairly close, but I don't think I am. Is this the play? It slightly feels that it isn't. So, yeah, I can use these same tiles here. Oh, OT, not good. That's irksome. 26 points otherwise. What about this? 18 points. Horrible rack leave, killing ING. 10 minutes on my clock. I can't play parallel to V. I don't have a vowel for going in front of G. Do I have a play ending in R? I don't think... Well, what about Modder? 32 points. I think this is the play. This is opening the board up and it's scoring well. But is it good? Yes, it is. So, I think that was the play, even though I haven't drawn fantastically. I do have NG for ING, but Bronting not good. I trail by 11 opponents on turn. And although column 1 looks dangerous, opponent can't get a big tile on a double letter square, so actually most of the time they're not going to score highly in column 1. Of course, if they have a bingo, then this will be a welcome sight. Aha doesn't take anything after it, so lay hasn't created much opportunity. Lay does take a B in front, so I could play bong, which sorts the rack out. It wrecks ing, but I don't think that's terrible. Great, just 34 points, an average score, and opponents burnt a lot of bingo-y tiles, and a bingo lane remains. AM takes an E. So this is what I'm minded to do because it sorts the rack out. This is a great rack leave if I draw vowels, especially A, E and I. Then I would have retain, bong for 23. Well, I don't draw the vowels I wanted, but I do have a balanced rack. Just wondering if there's a 7 here. If there is a 7-letter lane now in column 3. Is there one though? Not that it's immediately coming to mind. There's still this N of inana. Great, just 24 for opponent. The I of squiz is available for a bingo. 9 minutes on my clock. The R of squirts is not available. Could there be a 7? I've got the un prefix. I've got the out prefix. No, not seeing one. How to sort the rack out? Well, B and U are the bad tiles. So I played the B for bong and drew another. I can play dub. But the rack leave of intro isn't fantastic, especially with 3 O's to come. So can I play off B, O and U? Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 24. Very balanced bag. But the 4 I's don't go well. Well, the 4 I's and the 3 O's don't go well with a rack with I, O and U on it. And I can't play doubt. Longest is in the way. I could play boy. 11 points. Opponent may be tempted to play in row A. That would create a new lane in row B. The N softens the U keep, plus the fact that the U is the only vowel is good. Only 11 points though, and I'm gifting opponent 20 or 30. What is better? Do I have a play through this R? I have ow bit on my rack, which does play in... Interesting, what about doing this? It's 19 points because I'm creating 2 new lanes to replace the 2 that I'm taking. And it leaves the I alone, and it gets rid of all of my problem tiles. I regard all of the vowels as problematic, given the ones that are left. Wow, look at this, just 1 A and 3 E's. I'm turning over tiles, which is good with a blank unseen. Only 1 N and 1 R to come. This is quite a nice rack leave. N goes well with I. The only problem is at the bottom here. U, V, W, W, Y. But I'll take my chances with that. Well, I do draw the blank, which is good. And I am pretty vowel dry. Gosh, so close to a bingo. Close to environ. I've got over with the blank as an E, but with double NR, no bingo. So what to do here? Oh wow, so I drew having kept N and R, I drew the solitary N and solitary R that were in the bag. Painful. Non-driver is good as a 9. Wow, opponent getting nearly 30 points with both W's. There still is bingo lane in column 2. Only 7 tiles left. I'm not in good shape despite having the blank, because I'm short on vowels. I've got the V and I've got duplicates. Is there any way of sorting out all of the problems in one? I don't want to play the blank. I can't score enough to justify that. Gosh, it looks with this floating eye that one should be able to play N, R and V, but I'm not seeing a play. What about playing VIN? What about playing it here? Then the I is still available as a bingo floater because VIN takes a lot of hooks. 5 minutes on my clock. Duplicate R isn't the worst tile in the world. The O's have dropped dramatically. They're still column 2. Yeah, and VIN may distract opponent to column 14. The score's atrocious here, but I am going with this. Wow, I draw an E. That's a precious sight. And I think Perrons is good with double R. Pornia certainly is. That plays. Do I have anything with a Z? No. What about a play with an I? I looks like it goes well with this rack, and I'm looking for 7s. This rack plus an I. 4 minutes on my clock. This rack plus an I. Oh, an opponent plays in my Pornia row. There is a... Let me just pause, because I do have column 5 for a massive overlap, but that would need an S next to Ed. So that's unlikely. So yeah, I'm not seeing any 7 with an S. What about an H? No. Do any of these... Well, there are no 2-letter sets. There's not enough squares. So the only lane is Z. There isn't one. There's only 1 tile in the bag, so I think I need to bingo now. And the only possibility is through this I, or through N and I, hooking VIN, which means EOT. Yeah, EO or T. So I was considering, 3 minutes on my clock, I was considering my rack plus an I. Not seeing anything so far, so this would be double I. And there is 1 tile in the bag. I can still ditch 1 tile and maybe create a new lane. I trail by 80. This rack plus an I, prisoner. Prisoner. Nope. Does prisoner have an anagram? I don't think I would win even if I did find a bingo, because I'm only going to be drawing 1 tile. So actually, I think I do need to play off 1 tile. Is there any bingo to fish for through the Z? What if I ditched the P? Gosh. Don't think so. Quite tempting to play the P here. I'm not creating a bingo lane though. And maybe I need the P for score. Is there any way of creating a lane? Column 1 isn't available, nor is row O. Maybe this would distract opponent from this I, which is available as a floater. Oh, column 6 is available, ending in G. Gosh, I hope I haven't overlooked a bingo on a previous turn. And that's an argument for not playing P, because a play in row A could take out that floater. What about play here? Would this distract opponent? I think it might. I'm very short on time. I'm into the last minute. I'm going with this. So, hornpipe doesn't quite work. Do I have anything ending in G? No, so I am looking for something through an I. Not seeing anything so far. This rack plus an I. Wow, that looks close. An opponent takes that out. So do I have anything ending in G? I don't think it would be enough to win now, given opponent's lead. It wouldn't end ING. No. Okay, so 19 seconds left. I think I'll just play phone down here for 55. Which is not going to be enough. But what's the best I can do with blank R? Res. Reds. Vor. So res is 11. Vor is 10. So opponent plays Vi. So let me get this down. And the final score, 397 for me, 444 for opponent, a winning margin of 47 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow. Could I have done better at the end? That felt jolly close. So it was me to go first, and I didn't like splitting up Q and U, especially not with retention of the Q, so I like my play. Opponent plays jerk, and now I have squirt for 66, which was a great start. Except opponent has a fantastic 66-point comeback with quiz. Now I have this horror show, and I think changing is best. Opponent plays 8, and I have Harks for 47, and this was a point where I was on the verge of playing Max, keeping a really good 5-letter set, but I was just attracted to the extra points of Harks, and I think it is the correct play. Opponent plays Inanna. Now, I play Vax for 25. Yeah, and look at the rack lead, much better than the moves higher up in this list. Fantastic rack for opponent and a fantastic score, 86 points. And I now trail by a bingo. and this is not a good rack. So I think I'd change again. Yeah, and I'm happy with that. These scores are dismal, hardly any of them above 10 points. Opponent with the vowels plays coil. And here we go. I have Crateful. However, C8. Oh wow, because of Charks, Pencraft plays through this N. Wow, 91 points, but only 2 points dropped. And Crateful significantly better than the craftier options. So I'm back in the game. Opponent plays Lay. I have Mooch, nowhere for it, but I do have Modder for 32, which is a decent score. And we're neck and neck. Opponent plays Peas. And I play Bong for 23, keeping NRT. I think that compares favourably with the other moves listed. Opponent plays Aged. Now, did I miss something? No. Phew. So, A9 Obit. That's nice-ish. What do? I play Obit for 19, which isn't on this list, but I think is fine. Only 2 more points on offer. And I am keeping bingo lanes alive, so I like this play. Wow, but what a gift for an opponent. Horrible rack, but perfect spot now for Widow for 29. But there is hope. I have the blank and I only trail by 60. Wow, that's nice. C1. Yeah, taking out column 2 bingo lane, which I didn't want to do. So I play Van for 6, sacrificing points for strategic reasons. Yeah, perhaps with the Y out that was reckless. So what else is on offer? Oh, you can't just click on a move and it appears on the board. So there was Vow C2. Well, that again takes out that lane. This is a horrible rack leave in 3rd place. Yeah, it's really problematic trying to sort out the rack leave. So Vin isn't terrible. Opponent plays Fate, which was a nice play. And I trail by 80, so even with a bingo, I may lose. D5, burning the blank for 29 points. A sad reflection of the state of the game. So I just wanted to keep bingo lanes open, which Raw does. There's the bingo lane onto the G. There's the I. Yeah, and almost every play down here burns the blank apart from Nep and Rep, which take out a bingo lane. So pretty grim stuff. Opponent plays U. And finally, oh my word, there is a bingo. C6 through G and A because of rate. There's a gram play. I didn't consider that. Nephogram, which is too low probability for it to be in my card box yet, but will be. But would it have been enough? 76 would have taken me to 403. I would have trailed by 29. I would have got 8 points on countback. I would still have lost, but it would have been great fun to have played Nephogram. But I didn't spot it, and therefore I played Phone for 21 fewer points. Opponent plays Vi. And finally, Res for 11 is one off Ref and for 12. So, what a game. Super exciting stuff. Great start with Squirt, but fantastic response by opponent with Squiz. We were neck and neck until opponent... What did opponent do to zoom off into the distance? I'm not sure. They played Longest, which gave them a lead, but Crateful and Modder brought it back. I think it was fairly close, but opponent just had that 40 or 50 point lead, and I couldn't land a bingo and lost points trying to sort out troublesome racks like the Van play. Super fancy missed bingo at the end with Nephogram, so well done if you spotted that. Anyway, Jolly enjoyable game nonetheless. Many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.